Before I left Newark for good, I went out with this guy I call Mr. Saab 900. Mr. Saab 900 was 20 years older than me. He was in his 40s. I met him in an elevator. He had a bald head and glasses. He had good manners, polite, and wore a suit. A prestigious job in government. He took me to a fancy restaurant called the Manor. White tablecloths and a seafood buffet and crystal chandeliers. It was a nice place. The mafia ate there. My aunt told me her boyfriend worked for the mafia before he got AIDS. We rode to the restaurant up Interstate 280 West in his Saab 900. I didn't feel guilty anymore. My ex-Keith didn't feel guilty. He left me at college to do field work in Cuba and meet Fidel Castro. He probably dated Mexican girls in Cuba. He probably had a great time. Mr. Saab 900 and I had dinner. Then we saw a movie, Nothing in Common, with Tom Hanks and Jackie Gleason. Then we went to his place at the Pavilion Apartments, those floor-to-ceiling window apartments designed by famous German architect Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. My dad lived in the Colonnade building up the street. My uncle was over there, and they were laughing about how handsome they were in high school when it was South Side, before the name got changed to Malcolm X Shabazz High School. The first thing I noticed about Mr. Saab 900's living room was he had no couch, and the apartment had certain toys and paraphernalia. His apartment hardly had any furniture, and his phone was ringing constantly, but he never picked it up. After we chatted, he got frisky. Usually it was easy for me to walk away from a frisky guy, but I couldn't just walk away from Mr. Saab 900. He was gentle. The next night, he took me to an Italian restaurant, Mosico, on Route 22. I tried to be interested in his conversation. He talked about golf. My ex-boyfriend Keith talked about socialism and political science, but Mr. Saab 900 only talked about golf, his family being from North Carolina, and the weather in New Jersey. I told him my dad lived in the Colonnade Apartments and how I tied up his phone line talking to my cousin for 3 hours. My uncle was supposed to call about some extra hams my aunt bought at ShopRite on sale. I told Mr. Saab 900 I might eat ham at Easter time, but I refused to eat pig's feet. After dinner, we went back to his place at the Pavilion Apartments. He asked me if I wanted a certain beverage. I respectfully declined. My mother told me, don't drink. Mr. Saab 900 asked if I ever been to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, or if I would like to go. I said, I don't know. Sounds like they had plantation restaurants. The phone rang and his answering machine came on, and it was the voice of a young lady. She left a message. Mr. Saab 900 was starting to get on my nerves with his toys, his paraphernalia, his goblets of drinks, his ringing phones, his empty apartment, and his boring conversations. My cousin recommended I break it off. What if you got pregnant, she said. Good point, I said. I didn't go out again with Mr. Saab 900. I left Newark forever. I only came back on Thanksgiving for wholesome activities that my parents forced on me.